To jest NiUS Radio. Znajdź nas na www.niusradio.pl.
My today guest is Profesor Eleftherios Thalassinos from the University of Pireusie and University of Malta, and also visiting professor in several universities. Good afternoon, Professor. I'm really glad so I can have you here in our radio.
Good afternoon, Michael. First of all, let me congratulate you and your partners. We have a professional radio studio here. So that means that you work hard and you have made a tremendous job so far. Congratulations.
We're trying our best.
I'm glad I'm here.
Thank you. The reason for our meeting is, of course, today's conference, International Conference on Accounting, Business, Economics and Politics. However, before we get to the main topics, I want to learn more about you and about your today's visit in Szczecin. But before we start, I wanted to ask you, how do you view Szczecin as a city? Is it your first time in here?
Well, it is not my first time. I think I have been here 6 or 7 times. I started cooperation with your esteemed university 5 years ago. I know many faculty members. I cooperate with some of them in research and European projects. I'm here this time to participate in the 5th International Conference on Accounting, Business, Economics and Politics. As you know, this conference is originated from Kurdistan, and it is first time going in Europe. And I guess it was a very good try and a very good conference, well organized. And I congratulate the organizers and, of course, your university, which is the hosting university of this conference.
Let me ask you about the beginning of your cooperation. You said it started 5 years ago. What pushed you into this cooperation? Into this cooperation? What did you find interesting for you to start?
Well, in 1998, I was awarded by the Jean Monnet Chair. So I'm a professor of Jean Monnet. So based on this title, I can visit European universities to promote European integration. And based on this title, I have visited for the first time, not your university, but I think another university in Szczecin, promoting European integration. And then I get in contact with your colleagues, your professors here. I attend one conference, I don't remember the name of the conference, for the first time. And since then, we have very good relations with faculty members from the Faculty of Economics, Management and Finance.
Mm-hmm. At today's conference, you are representing university as a researcher. However, it's not your only role at the university, isn't it?
Yes. Well, actually, I'm a retired professor from University of Pireusie, Greece, after 70 plus years of service. After my retirement, I accept a proposal, and I'm affiliated professor right now at the University of Malta. And I work with some colleagues there to organize some graduate programs in Malta. I'm also visiting professor in Cyprus, in 2 universities in Cyprus, at the Open University of Greece, 2 universities in Romania, 1 university in Paris, Paris 10 and there, and a couple more. Okay, so every time I receive an invitation, I travel and I give lectures there, depending on my availability, because besides all this, I'm also editor-in-chief in 3 international journals, and I also manage one international conference, which is in its 19th edition this year. And it takes place in Thessaloniki, Greece, next month in October.
And at today's conference, you're having a presentation about merging with digital technologies and going global. Could you explain it briefly for our listeners. What is it going to be about?
Yes, of course. My PhD studies in Chicago 40 years ago were about econometrics and quantitative methods. In that era, quantitative methods and econometrics were considered as the best possible solution to make projections. Now, with digital technologies and artificial intelligence, we have to take into consideration those developments. And econometrics and quantitative methods are a little bit behind. So I present my views how quantitative methods and econometrics can merge with artificial intelligence and digital technologies to have a better result on projections. Because as you may know, if you are in economics and business discipline, it is very important to have projections in life. You can make a good model and project what is going to happen. And if you know what is going to happen in the future, you understand that you are one step in front, okay, of the other people. So it's very important to know what is coming. So I have some concerns how to use quantitative methods and econometrics nowadays. If you don't take into consideration digital technologies, artificial intelligence, that GPT, okay, which is like a demon, you can they can answer any possible question. So managers, business managers, maybe will be less effective and less productive, I will say, in their business. Because every time they have a problem, they will ask GPT, hey, guy, what is the proposed solution on this problem? And they answer, well, the best way is to do this and the other way is to do that. So we're moving ahead and you have to follow the developments. Otherwise, if you stay back, you will lose, the ball.
Actually, in this year, University of Szczecin started a team working on artificial intelligence. Do you think it opens a field for cooperation?
Oh, of course. And I'm surprised. I didn't know that. It's a very effective way to get ahead. So if you have a group working on artificial intelligence, it is a very good development for the university. And I congratulate the colleagues who had the idea to start such an initiative. And I'm very surprised about from University of Szczecin because I have experience from, I will say, maybe 60, 70 universities in the world. Szczecin is one of the best. I mean, based on infrastructure, the program it offers, the faculty members. So everything is well organized and in very good condition, I would say.
I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you. And about today's conference,
yes.
What are your other expectations? Is it only just to familiarize your academic partners with your topic, with the pressing problems, or also do you wish to find some new solutions, I would say?
Well, in academia, as I said, I'm 40 years plus in academia right now. The most important thing is, besides your teaching abilities as a professor, okay, to teach you as a student, is to build bridges and build international cooperations. And it is important not only for the university, but also for students, for faculty members, for administrative staff. So we try, every time we are going to a conference or to a new university, we try to sign an agreement, okay, a scientific agreement to start with, or Erasmus Plus agreement for mobility issues with students and faculty members, or joint research, or maybe dual programs. It is in Brussels, in European Union, it is they are very sensitive to see the cooperation between universities on dual programs. So a common program here in Szczecin with, let's say, University of Malta and University Paris 10. Okay, so students in these three countries, they attend the program, they take courses, they can transfer those courses from one country to the other, and when they complete the program, they get their degree. So it is very, very interesting, especially nowadays, because of the online connections, right? It is possible to have students taking courses from different countries
Exactly.
and get the degree, And if there is a good cooperation and a good agreement between the universities, they may get dual degree, one degree from Szczecin, one degree from Paris and Malta, which is very important, It's the mobility, between the students and how they should promote European integration and European cooperation.
Since you mentioned it, do you think conferences like this one can improve also this cooperation, this integration?
Yes. International conferences actually is the only way to have people getting together. You have people getting together and exchange ideas. I heard something after my speech. It was a guy from Iraq, and he had a very good presentation, and I got something in my mind now. So when I go back, I start working with my mind and say, well, what this guy said, well, he said that. So let me see if I can take it one step further. So it's very important, to learn, to hear, and to cooperate. And for University of Szczecin, it's very important to enlarge and increase this kind of activities. International conferences, workshops maybe, international projects, traveling, mobility issues, all this stuff.
And from what I hear from you, it's also important to inspire each other in academic society, isn't it?
Yes, of course. Well, positively.
Of course.
You hear something, and I take the idea and I work it out, and I take it one step further. Because in every research, when we finish a research, we say, what are the conclusions and what are the limitations of this research? So we, as researchers, we point out the limitations. It's like saying to the other people, guys, take this research from this point and go one step further. So we promote, we promote the development of our research. And of course, when you see your presentation, your research published, then it is open to anyone. So anyone can get the idea and going further.
Just to summarize, what do you think, of course, this conference, but not only this conference, but just this whole cooperation and also the cooperation you are in from the 5 years already, what do you think it can lead to in the nearest future?
Well, personally, I have an international conference running for 19 consecutive years. If you go to academia and try to see what activity is serious and what activity lasts, for long, the best way is to see how many years this activity is in academia. Being in academia for 19 years, it means something. It means what? Consistency, seriousness, knowledge, how to organize conferences. So this year we have this conference in Thessaloniki, as I said, Greece, the 19th edition. And next year we plan to have this conference. This is something new, but we just say it in case we realize it. We may have that conference here in Szczecin. Next year.
In next year.
We're going to cooperate not only with Szczecin, but with 10 different universities. 3 universities from the USA and 8 universities from Europe. So we will get all together 10 universities, with maybe 15 international journals supporting the conference, and have a big event here in Szczecin.
So you heard that for the first time in NiUS Radio.
Yes, I just said it in this radio. in this radio. We had some discussions this morning with Professor Nermant and the rector, and they said, well, we may examine this, proposal. It's not 100% sure, but we are close to make this deal.
So I'm really happy I could speak with you today. My today and yours guest was Professor Eleftherios Thalassinos from University of Pireusie and University of Malta. Thank you for today.
Thank you very much, Michael. It was a very, very pleasant interview, and I'm glad that I met you here. And hopefully I will see you next year during the conference in Szczecin.
See you next year. Thank you.
Thank you.
To jest NiUS Radio. Znajdź nas na www.newsradio.pl.